Hi everyone, I hope you are all well and keeping safe. So I'm coming on today to do a video on brushes. I've had a lot of you guys send me lots of different messages about what you would like to see, and brushes kept coming up quite a lot. So I've kind of laid out here all the brushes that I use personally and in my kit, things that I would recommend. There's a bit of a variation. And yeah, there are some expensive brushes, but actually not that many. I'm not somebody who believes that you have to have the most expensive brush for it to be any good. There's actually a few in here from the likes of like Home Bargains and stuff, because they're actually great. So yes, I'm going to go through them all. I'm going to start at brows and eyes because I feel like that's the thing that everybody wants to know more. And there are multiples. Now, I obviously have quite a lot of brushes because as a working makeup artist, I have to have multiples. You know, if I'm at a wedding and I'm on quite a tight time schedule, I tend to have like 3 or 4 of each brush so that I can just keep going and then do a deep clean at the end. But yeah, I'm obviously not going to go through all of that. Yeah, I'm just going to kind of dive straight in and yeah, let you know what I'm thinking. So I'm going to start with the brows. So I'm pointing at my brows. I'm going to start with the brows. And I've got a couple of different ones here. So first one, I've got the Benefit brushes. So you guys know I used to work at Benefit. And there's loads of things that I think are really, really good from them, and some of the brushes are actually brilliant. So this is the old style hard angle brush. I don't know if you can still get this or not. Somebody I'm sure will let me know. But these are brilliant. They're quite dense, so yeah, it does pack the product on. But they did bring out a few years ago when they launched the brow collection. They launched their new brow brush. So again, a little bit smaller. I like the handle on this, is quite weighted, so again it helps, really helps when you're popping that on. And then it's got the spoolie at the other end of that, which the original one doesn't. So that was definitely me dropping a brush. Yeah, so these are really, really good. If you're looking for a good brow brush, one that washes well, then this is really good. Other one that I have, so I find it really weird looking at myself with straight hair because I never straighten my hair anymore. I always, if I'm wearing it down, I'll wear it in a curl, so that is bizarre. So the other one I've got is the MORPHE M165, which is here. Again, MORPHE, really good, quite cheap. These are very inexpensive. Like, I'm going to say this is like £3 or £4. I mean, I could be wrong, it could be like 6 or 7, but they're definitely under £10. I don't tend to use this one for brows. I actually usually use this for buffing out liner on the top lids, or yeah, just getting kind of extending out like a wing. I do really like that. It's not as dense as the Benefit ones, so yeah, I prefer this one for liner, but you could definitely use that as your brow brush. I normally use the MORPHE one that I've just shown you, or this is actually the type of liner brush that I personally prefer, and this is an E63, I want to say. It's actually rubbed away. What I'll do is I'll pop in the description box like all of the brushes when I go through them, alright? But that is like a really fine, I feel like I'm on QVC. That's a really fine tip one. Now I know a lot of people won't like this and they'll prefer that hard angle that I showed you before, like that one, because there is a big difference between them. That's much, much smaller. But I just feel like this gives me more precision. It gives me the thinness in the liner when I want that in the inner corner to extend it out, and I just feel more comfortable using this. I feel it's steadier. Again, everybody will have a personal preference and everybody will like different things, so it's really just kind of playing around and seeing what you think. This is like a different range, loads and loads of different brushes, so I'm going to go through them all and tell you what I would use them for, because when you're doing eye looks, you need multiple brushes. Or if you're just using the one brush, and say you're doing I don't know, you're trying to do a couple of different shadows, and say you're going with a really dark shadow, every time you then put that on your eye, it's just going to be really dark. So you need to have a couple of brushes if you're going to be doing eye looks. Let's start with some buffing brushes. So these are the bigger ones. These would be what you would kind of use up here. If you were, it's kind of to get more of a wash over the eye and to cover more area. So I tend to use these ones like here when I'm starting just above the crease. And this would be the product that I would always go back to. It's usually the kind of golden rule is the bigger the brush, the lighter the colour. because you're not wanting to pack it on, you're just trying to do like a wash over. So again, you'll see that actually as we go, what you'll notice is I use a lot of the same brands, so I don't tend to deviate that often. I know what like works for me, and I tend to just pick them up as well. So this is Morphe, this is the MB23. I've used this, I've had this for years, big fluffy brush. These wash really well, as I said. I must have had these now for maybe 4 or 5 years. Got them in my personal kit, got them in my personal brushes, got them in my kit. Really, really like them, inexpensive. So I know if I do have to add a new one, if it's maybe went by its best, I'm not bothered about that because I can just pick them up quite cheap. But they do last, so they're really, really good. I love that one. Another one, oh, this one doesn't even have a name. I think I've used it that much. Again, but this is the kind of style that you're going for. So just a little bit bigger, something to kind of dispense the product where you want it. Next, we would be going on to anything to add like a slightly darker colour. So it would be in, let me just show you, so like this type area here, so keeping it smaller, so in the crease and maybe to pack a little bit further down. So I've got a couple of different ones that I like for this. I have, okay, so let's start with a different brand for you. So this is the KITSTARS, and this is the N30 Small Tapered Blender, which is this one here. If I hold it up against the Morphe one, just so you can see the difference in terms of the size. So again, this one's much, much bigger, so I'd be using that for my lighter colours, and as I get darker, starting to go in with the smaller one. Is the N30 Small Tapered, as I said. I really like this. Again, it's got a good bit of density, and it just kind of blends the product out really nicely, so I like that. This is ZOEVA, so this is the 227 soft definer. This is actually not round, it's more of a, can you see that? It's like flat. I love this for the crease. I love the fact that you can get like a kind of flat shape, and it's also really good at packing product on. So like today I've got 2 colours on my eyes, I'll just show you. So I've got a kind of, I always think it's like baby sick colour, but I kind of love it on the eyes. That kind of rustic colour on the outside, and then actually on the lid I've popped on like a kind of yellow with a slight hint of brown through it. So I pack this on with this kind of brush just to get to really intensify that colour for me. I've got multiples of these, and again you can buy ZOEVA do them in like the rose gold, the black, the silver. You can buy them in whatever colour. They're all the exact same, it doesn't matter. And again, ZOEVA is another brand that is nice and cheap. It is very inexpensive. Again, I think these are like £6–7. They're not dear. So yeah, just pack up a couple of these, and these will really help you with your eye makeup. Last 2 then for your kind of darker shades is another ZOEVA, and this is the 224, and this is the Defined Crease. So again, starting to get a little bit smaller. These are really good actually if you like a lot of colour on the eyes, so say like your purples and your pinks and your blues and stuff. What you would maybe do is use the smaller brushes to really pack that on instead of the bigger ones, because with the bigger ones, as you buff it, they will fade out, whereas with colour you tend to want to have that intensity. So this might be a better option for you if you're someone who likes that. So 224 ZOEVA, and then an even smaller one is the Morphe M502. So I'll just show you that. That's kind of the smallest one. If I hold that up against the ZOEVA, yeah, so it's tiny. So again, if you do a lot of kind of intricate work, or again if you want to intensify your deepest colour, like round about this area, and really pack that on, then these are really good brushes for that. I wouldn't say that I pick them up all the time, but I do have them there depending on what my clients want. If you work a lot with, if you're trying to pack a lot of shade onto the lid here, if you're adding shimmer or glitter, anything like that, then I prefer to use a flat synthetic brush. I just feel like it sticks it better to the lid and gives me a nice smoother canvas. So the ones that I like, I'll talk to you about the ones that I love most and that I tend to use the most, and then I've got another couple of ones there as well. So my absolute favourites are the Urban Decay shadow brush. Love that. It's so small and dense, like you can see that it doesn't like wiggle that much. So see, to pack on shadows, it's brilliant. Packing on pigment, I get hardly any fallout because of this. I'm laughing because it says Urban because I've actually wiped off the U because I've used it that much. But these are great. These are a little bit more expensive because Urban is obviously a high-end brand. You will pay a little bit more, but again, I've had these for years, and the good thing with the Urban Decay ones is in their palettes that they do, if anybody has like the naked palettes and things like that, they always give you a brush. And I know that usually when you get a brush and a palette, they can be crap. Let's be honest, we usually chuck them. But with Urban Decay, they tend to do ones like this. I actually think this was from a palette. They are pretty good, so do hang on to them just in case you need it one day. And this one here is the Morphe S30. I love this as well. Use it all the time, pick it up for pretty much every client. Nice and flat. And again, I just feel like it dispenses. And it's small enough for the lid. I don't feel like it starts to go up anywhere that I don't want it. Small enough that I can do my intricate work and not worry about it falling all over the place. ZOEVA 233. So that is definitely a good bit bigger. I would actually say originally I bought this when I used to kind of sculpt out the under the brow and stuff. I don't tend to do that anymore. I feel like it looks a bit 3D. However, if you're someone who likes to use like a kind of, I don't know, the P. Louise base or your concealer on your lids and you like to sculpt out under the brow, this is a really good brush for it. It's a little bit bigger, so again, it kind of does half the work for you. I would use this for like cut creasing and stuff, just go in and add that there. I know loads of people like the really small ones, but I just find they take so much longer when you can do it with a big one like this. So that is, as I said, that's the ZOEVA 233. Another one would be the KITSTARS S32 shader. That one there is a little bit more, it's not as dense, it's definitely got a little bit more flexibility. So it wouldn't be the one that I would normally pick up. But KITSTARS are pretty cheap, like they're not expensive, and I do find that they wear very well. So if you were wanting something to just get started, then they are pretty good as well. A couple of brushes for the under eyes. I tend to do obviously that little smoke. I use smudgers most of the time. I just take like pencil liners and I smudge them out under the eye. If you want a really inexpensive way to do it, get a cotton bud and you can just smudge it with that. Or pick up a couple of these. So these are the pink ones here. These are peaches and cream. I love all of the peaches and cream brushes. I haven't found a single brush that I don't like, and you'll see coming up, I pretty much use all of their brushes for the face. Very inexpensive. They do 4 for £15, which I think is absolutely amazing. And that is one thing I would say about brushes. I think we've all made that mistake, or maybe just me, but we've all made that mistake of going and buying a kit, like a big brush set, and you usually like 2, 3, 4 of the brushes, and then the rest of them just lie in a bag somewhere because they're not any use to you, they're maybe not the style that you like. So what I would say is actually just buy individuals and find what works for you. It'll be, one, less expensive. It means that if you buy one and you don't love it, you've not spent like £100 odd on a kit. You've spent maybe £6 on that brush. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend doing that. I just think that you're better kind of building your brushes up over time, and because they do the 4 for £15, I think it's a good place to start. They do a full brush set, and I would say if you were going to get any, go for the peaches and cream, because as I said, I've not found a brush that I don't like, but I think that their deal is brilliant. So under eyes, I have the PC14, PC33 and the PC31. So I'll just show you them here. So this is the 14. So it's a little bit flat, it's quite flat, really dense, and I quite like that if I'm doing quite a bit of colour under the eye, then I will go in and really work with that one. If I was going to be doing, again, a little bit of shadow, then it usually is the PC31. This is actually what I've used on my under eyes today. I've got pencil liner in the waterline, and then I've just used a little bit of eyeshadow. So because it's so small, it gets right in it under the lashes. And again, I'm not worrying about, I'm just going to even that up on the other side. I'm not worrying about getting fall down because it's so small, it'll not drop anywhere. If you're going to use like gel liner under the eye or pencil liner under the eye, then these are fantastic. They're also really good if you're someone who likes an inner corner highlight as well, because they're small, and that's the PC33, so I'll just show you that there. Yeah, love this. This is what I would use, as I said. I think it's really good to have a smudger brush. I think it's handy to have a smudger brush. I didn't have one for years and I could never get the under eyes that I wanted. I felt like all my shadow was kind of dropping too far down. It started to make the eyes look a little bit, I don't know, the under eyes look a little bit crepey just because of where the placement was. And then I invested in this and it was brilliant. So yes, try and get yourself a little smudger brush because I think they are brilliant and they give you that really nice buffed out smoky effect, which a lot of us love with their eye makeup. So I'm going to move on to face now. So as I said, most of these brushes are peaches and cream, which I've already said, but there are a few different ones in there that I'll go through in case you like something else. For face, to be honest, when it comes to the face, when it comes to skincare, I tend to use my hands. They are the best tools by an absolute mile. Because of the heat, as soon as you start to rub something in and start to work with it, the heat will melt it into the skin. So in terms of skincare, it's actually much better to do that. Sometimes they can clog your brushes as well if you're using a really heavy, thick, rich moisturiser, so it's just something to be mindful of. But if I was going to be putting something on, I would usually do it with the PC18. It's a slightly smaller like foundation brush, so you could use it for kind of either or, but I just prefer that if I was going to go in and add some, I don't know, illuminator or a little bit of primer, or as I said, if you were going to use it for moisturiser, but I would be tempted more to do moisturiser with my hands. Don't be scared to use your hands. Yes, that's the PC18. When it comes to foundation, there's a couple of different ones, but what you'll see is I actually use small brushes. Now please ignore this one, it needs washed. I've just done my makeup with it. That's my own personal one, but I'll come to that in a second. So you'll see that I tend to like the kind of dome shaped ones here. I just feel like they give a better finish. I don't get lines with them. I will sometimes apply with like a flat foundation brush. I'll just show you that. I'll use any one, I don't think it really matters. I've got loads of Benefit ones, I've got Morphe ones. So I'll sometimes like almost paint my foundation on and then I'll buff it out with one of these. But generally I just go straight in with the brush. So let me just go through these. So I've got the Peaches and Cream PC15. Love that. It's the one that I use on pretty much every client when they come in, and I just pat it on. I don't tend to swipe it. I just kind of pat that on and it buffs it out for me. I feel like when I swipe, that's when you almost take the foundation back off, and obviously when you're putting it on, you're wanting that coverage in certain places. So yeah, I just tend to pat as I go, like kind of moving it outward. When your foundation on, you want to kind of start going, you want to work outwards. You want where you want the coverage generally is around the nose and the kind of cheek area, and then buffing it out. You don't need it like at the sides of the face here, or most people don't really need it at their forehead either. So you're kind of going working it out. Also really love similar style. These are the OLIVIA HALE, and these are the ones from Home Bargains. They're absolutely amazing. I think this is $2.50. So see if you're just wanting something really quick and you maybe don't have a big budget, go and get these. They're absolutely amazing. They're really, really similar. I would say that this one's definitely got more bristles, so it is more densely packed and it will wear better. So when you're washing them and things, that these will last a little bit longer. But for $2.50, I'm not going to moan. You can see there, even when I move it, it's just not got as much, but they are great brushes. I'm not going to knock it because, as I said, for £2.50, that's amazing. Another one that I love is the Real Techniques, and this is this the foundation brush? Again, it's worn away, but you'll know by the colour. That's the kind of orange colour. Again, a little bit smaller, but really good for packing on. Again, a little bit thicker, a lot of bristles there, and you can really pack that on. When it comes to your cream, your cream products, you really want synthetics as opposed to your kind of natural hair, because with your natural hair it might soak in, whereas with your synthetic you can kind of buff it more. And this is the other OLIVIA HALE one. This is actually the foundation brush. This one is the contour brush. So again, I don't use it for contour, and please don't be put off brushes by what they say that they're for. I use them for totally different things, like eyeshadow brushes, and I use them for concealer and stuff. So it's whatever works for you. So yeah, that's the contour brush. This is the foundation brush. I love this as well. You'll see it's a little bit, this one is definitely more dense, and I just, same same style, I kind of pack it on. So this is what I actually used on my face today. A couple of pounds, £2-3, I can't beat it. So, and see with my own brushes, I tend to just kind of have like the cheapest ones. I'm not too fussed about having these really expensive ones. I feel like way back, MAC and things were brilliant and they were really good brushes. But they've changed them now, they've changed the way that they're made and the bristles and stuff, so I don't think they're as good anymore, and I wouldn't spend £25 on a brush when I know for a fact I can get one from Peaches and Cream, or again I could get it from Home Bargains and it's going to do the same thing. Too bothered about that. Base and foundation, I would then go on to concealer, and you guys will have seen I use these quite a lot, and these are again Peaches and Cream, and it's PC10 and PC22. PC10 is the slightly bigger one and PC22 is the smaller one. I'll just show you them there. I would use generally the PC22, sorry, the PC, I'm just going to confuse everybody, the PC10, the bigger one, if I didn't really have anything under the eyes, if I was just kind of doing an everyday look, maybe going to my work and things and didn't have a lot of eyeshadow on, I would just really buff that in. If like today where I've got a little bit of eyeshadow on, I need to be a little bit more careful if I have done my eyes first when I'm putting my concealer on, then I would go in with the smaller one just because I know I'll have a little bit more control over where that product's going. But these are brilliant, I really love them for concealer, it almost does the job for you. I know that people used to use the kind of flat, the ones, they're the ones I was recommending for like packing on eyeshadow. I just find again I'm swiping all the time, whereas these just pop on and buff it out all at one time, so that is good enough for me. Then to finish the skin, you've got a couple of different ones here. So I'll start with the Peaches and Cream first and foremost. PC04, which is the big dome brush. Now I usually use these to pop on powder. Just kind of dispense it, usually at the forehead, down the nose, chin, and then maybe underneath here to clean up a little bit. I just like that they're kind of big, they do the work for me, so I don't need to worry. And because powder's translucent, I don't need to worry that much anyway. I've then got the PC25, and these are the ones that I will use for my bronzer and usually my blush as well. I tend to use the same brush just because I feel like when I put my bronzer on, it blends it together better. So I will use these to kind of sculpt out the cheeks and then do the blusher on top and just blend them together. I had these for a good few years now, maybe 3-4 years, and I've never had to replace them, and I think I've got 2 or 3 of these in my kit, these ones in particular, so really good if you're looking for a bronzer or a blush. 2 contour brushes. So this one is my own personal one. It is dear, I won't lie. This is the NARS contour brush, so you'll see here it's really different, it's really flat, and that's to really help with sculpting out the cheekbones. And all you would do is kind of pop your product on and then buff upwards with it. It basically does all the hard work for you. I haven't invested in these ones for my kit just because they are really expensive, and when there's other options out there that are cheaper, and I know that I will replace my brushes more than maybe the likes of yourself who is just using it on yourself. Because I'm using them multiple times a day, I don't know if it's cost effective for me to use these ones, but I do love it for myself because I'm selfish. Here are the Luxe 512s, this small contouring brush. I really like these if I'm really trying to sculpt those cheekbones, if I'm doing quite a dramatic look. Again, they're nice and small, I can really pack that product on and buff it out. They're much smaller than the MORPHE ones, the Peaches and Cream ones. So I'd say these are really great for bronzer, but with your contour, because you're wanting your contour to be quite specific, you might prefer the LUXIE one. Both really good. Last couple of brushes then for recommending. I have a Peaches and Cream and MORPHE one that I would use for highlight. So again, highlighter, as I said to you guys the other day on my video, I kind of focus it here on my cheek and then work it up, and then I just do it in the high points, so top of the brow, nose, little bit in the lip. Again, you can, if you want to go on the chin and stuff like that, you absolutely can. I prefer these to your traditional fan brush. So these are your kind of stereotypical fan brushes. I'm not a huge fan of them on myself personally. I actually prefer using the small ones here. I just feel like these give me a little bit more precision, and I can build the product to what I want it much quicker. So again, just just kind of my personal preference. I also use these for powder, and I use them for powder specifically like under the eyes. So I do have multiples of these in my kits because I use them for different things. But the Morphe M501 and then PC17 from Peaches and Cream, they're both the exact same. They're kind of the same size. Again, I sometimes feel like, and I don't know if this is just because I've had it for a really long time, I feel like my Morphe one maybe shades a little bit more than what my Peaches and Cream one does. But I love them both. I just think that my Morphe one does shed a little bit more. So if I was going to pick, I would pick the Peaches and Cream. But again, you could pick up either of them, and they're really great for, as I said, highlighter or for your powder as well. The last things then would be lip brushes. Now, I know that probably you wouldn't use these because if you're going to be doing your own makeup, you'll just be putting on your own lipstick anyway. However, if you're a makeup artist and you're looking for some good brushes, or if you're somebody who just wants some good brushes to do lipstick with, then crack on, I'll show you some of these. So I've got two and very different ends of the scale in terms of budget. I've got my Charlotte Tilbury lip brush, and then I have the Lychee brushes as well. They're both different styles, okay? So if I show you there, the Lychee one is the rounded one, and the Charlotte Tilbury is the hard angle. I do love the Charlotte Tilbury one, I won't lie, but again, is it worth the money? I like it, I do really like it, and I like actually the brush handles and stuff on them weighted, so again I can get a lot of precision with that. But the Lychee ones are £2, so a little bit smaller as well, so they're good for travelling, really good for kits. For makeup artists, they're a really good one to pick up. I do really like both of them. I quite like the Charlotte Tilbury one if I'm doing a darker lip like I have today, because I can create that shape that I want because of the angle. But they're both great brushes, use them all the time, wash really well. Even the Lychee ones that are £2 wash brilliantly. I use them all the time because I have clients in again. I do have multiples of them. I think I've maybe got like 4 or 5 of these just because I use them so much. The last thing that I want to show you then is just how I transport my brushes when I'm going to do makeup, so like weddings or events and things. And I carry my KitStar's little brush bag. I've got the small one. This is the small one here. I'll just show you the inside. So again, as I said, this will look excessive, but I've got like multiples of all the brushes that I've just shown you, so don't worry. It comes in the 4 compartments, and then all I do is in the side I kind of slip in the like artist palettes that I use for mixing. I love them. I find it really handy when I'm at shoots and events or weddings and things that all my brushes are in the one place, so I don't need to worry about it. I quite like the size of this one. I know there's the bigger one. I think I'd be more tempted to use the bigger one for keeping products in, so maybe like my foundations and stuff, so they were all in the one place, but I love this one. It does come with the little crossbody as well, so again it just means instead of having like a brush belt, you could use that. So that is everything for my makeup brushes. I will leave everything below. It's going to take me, I'm actually just thinking how long that's going to take me. Feel free to drop me a wee message if you want to ask me any questions, or if you've got any brush recommendations, then let me know. I'm always trying to find good brushes, but as I said, you'll see that the ones that I tend to use are ZOEVA, Morphe and Peaches and Cream. A couple of different variations in there, but generally those are my kind of trusted and go-to brands because they're really efficient. I can pick them up really quite easily. They're inexpensive and they're really, really good brushes. They do the job. So yes, that would be my recommendations. So I hope this video has been helpful. As I said, if you've got any questions or you want to ask me anything, then just send across. If there's any other videos that you want or you would like to see or that you think would be helpful, then again, just drop me a wee message and I'll try my best to get that up for you. Thanks for watching, guys. See you on the next one. Bye.